This is a message for the saints. My Facebook page has never been really a political page. I never even really cared about politics until this year. I think the reason why I got so stirred up was watching, listening to what Trump stood for, what he was doing, what the Democrats stood for, what they were doing. And I felt like it was a divide between good and evil. Trump was fighting for religious freedoms. Trump was fighting for equality for people here in the country, giving them opportunities. The Democrats were for abortion, were for dismantling and dismembering the history of the United States, the fact that we were founded on Judeo-Christian roots. And so I kind of became politicized to some degree. Regardless of where we're headed, there's things that we have to know. So for the saints, this is true. We know that God must still raise up the Antichrist, that the one world order will indeed happen. There will be an authoritarian rule. There will be socialism on a global scale. And in Revelation it says that all of those whose names are not written in the book of life will worship the beast and follow the Antichrist. And we know when they asked Jesus, they said, "Are few saved?" He said, "Many are called, but few are chosen." It shouldn't surprise us as time goes by that more and more decline, that time will come when to be a believer you will be persecuted. We'll pay with our life. I still don't know if it'll happen in our lifetime. But I wanted to encourage you because our life is a living sacrifice to God. We're being poured out, and we're to walk through each day for His glory, no matter what that day looks like. We are to remember to always stand for truth, stand for what's right. Just like when John the Baptist told Herod that it wasn't lawful for him to have his brother's wife. We must always stand. Now the outcome is that we don't own the outcome. The outcome belongs to God. We don't get to sit around and be a coward and be silent either, though. So we must always speak. We are the salt of the earth. Knowing that it may cost us our life. Knowing that it may ostracize us from people. Jesus told us, he said he didn't bring peace but a sword. Don't forget those words. Don't forget what you're called to do. Trust God, rest in His peace, let Him perform all His pleasure, which He'll do regardless. You can either be at peace with it or fight against it, but He will perform all His pleasure. And just remember that some things must come to pass. I wouldn't have thought in a million years that we'd see things that we're seeing, but we are. Things like how about this? the Air Force released footage of, UFO footage. To me, and when you read the book of Daniel, and it says that they will come again, this time we might call them aliens. The first time the angels left their domain and came to the earth, they called them gods. We're see some crazy things, but that's awesome. I mean, don't think that life just is what we can see, and don't live by the flesh. Whatever God does with this election, so be it. Whatever God does with this country, so be it. As for you and me, we follow the Lord. So be bold, be strong, quit watching the stupid sports, be in the Word, be purposeful about your life. Don't be docile, don't be asleep. Just to be vigilant is what we're called to be. Don't be caught slacking. Pay attention.